Thank you, everyone, for hanging in here for the last session of the day. We're glad you're here and happy to talk with you. As Sandeep told you, I am the Division Director of the Non-Clinical Development Division. DNCD, as we call ourselves, is a non-clinical centralized resource supporting BARDA's medical countermeasure development enterprise. So I am going to start with answering the question you are all asking but are afraid to ask. Why does BARDA have a non-clinical division, especially when our portfolio is so far in the advanced space? Well, I can answer that for you because we're here. No, as you know, BARDA's portfolio has a broad threat footprint, and as such relies heavily on alternative licensure and approval approaches such as accelerated approval and the FDA animal rule, and non-clinical studies are pivotal for these licensure pathways. And I just want to put that in perspective to you. 13 of the 17 animal rule approvals were in BARDA's portfolio. So that is showing that these non-clinical studies have played an important role in the MCM development portfolios. So, as a non-clinical resource within BARDA, DNCD ensures that BARDA has access to high containment laboratory capacity with the required quality systems, the tools, and the non-clinical expertise needed to advance MCM development for chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threats and influenza and emerging infectious disease priority areas, and to improve our responsiveness and our preparedness to public health emergencies and any seaborne threat. Now's my time where I get to shout out to our non-clinical network laboratories and say thank you for being our partners, especially over the pandemic when you had to pivot and support our SARS work, but at the same time kept our other programs growing. So it's that partnership that really has made us successful. So organizationally, we provide senior scientific subject matter experts in countermeasure non-clinical development, regulatory compliant non-clinical services through partnership with our network laboratories and data analytics services, ensuring the data that's emanating from these networks are fit for purpose. We build integrated teams around BARDA's non-clinical program to address the challenges associated with MCM non-clinical development. Okay, so you heard today a lot about BARDA's mission on preparedness, response, and recovery, and on BARDA's MCM portfolio challenges, and how BARDA is approaching meeting these mission goals. As BARDA innovates, our non-clinical programs need to expand our tools and models to meet the changing requirements. The specific priorities that I think Chris and Gary and Robert really did a good job talking about that require these new non-clinical tools and models are shown on the top part of the slide. And these include the development of platform technologies to quickly respond to known and emerging threats by being able to pivot development efforts from one threat to another, development of host-directed threat agnostic MCMs that are broadly applicable and treat the symptom or injury, repurposing investigational FDA-approved therapeutics to ensure MCM utility and sustainability, and having a commercial market for products that ensures that they are sustainable. And finally, there's the concern with limited resources required for non-clinical studies, specifically availability of non-human primates that are often the model used for pivotal studies conducted for licensure through the FDA's animal rule. So what are we doing in non-clinical to ensure that we have the non-clinical tools and models to support these MCM development priorities? I'm going to discuss in the next two slides DNCD's priorities and how we are making sure we have the relevant models at our laboratories and that these laboratories are positioned to meet the regulatory requirements for licensure and for licensure of the products that are developed. And in addition, we are focused on ensuring that our non-clinical data are broadly available to the MCM development community. We have multiple initiatives across BARDA focused on advancing microphysiological systems with goals of developing physiological relevant models that enable evaluation of the threat-agnostic host-directed therapeutics, enable high-throughput screening of licensed drugs. And when I say high throughput, I don't really mean high throughput, I just mean quicker throughput. Model human responses to injury and exposure and identify targets for therapeutic development. The goals of these programs are to advance these platforms to aid in faster development, reduce the reliance on animal models, and enable better clinical prediction. We are focusing on the development of product-agnostic non-clinical models and the development and validation of the required assays and reagents needed to support these models. These models not only support the evaluation of MCMs for specific threats such as viral and bacterial threats, but also are focused on supporting the evaluation of medical countermeasures that treat common injuries and pathologies that are caused by chemical, radiological, and nuclear threats. These models will support the evaluation of threat-specific and broad-acting MCMs and support licensure through the FDA animal rule if necessary. You have and will continue to hear over the next day about BARDA's strategic plan and its goals of preparedness, response, partnerships, and workforce. And one specific objective of this plan is to enhance and sustain response-ready support services. The objective is part of DNCD's mission, and we continue to expand and enhance our services aligned with BARDA's program needs. Harnessing the power of our data assets is one specific goal that we are focused on. We are accomplishing this by managing, curating, and warehousing non-clinical data such that it is available to the BARDA program and the broader federal MCM enterprise. These curated data may be mined and leveraged, including the conduct of meta-analysis for better understanding across studies, across laboratory models, and tool performance. We are ensuring that the non-clinical capabilities required for MCM advanced development are broadly available. We manage this by transferring technologies, models, and other tools across laboratories to minimize the risk of capability loss. We are ensuring non-clinical tools and models meet regulatory utility by gaining concurrence from FDA on their suitability for MCM advanced development. Along with BARDA's strategic plan, Objective 2.3 comes a key milestone from BARDA to establish well-characterized, product-agnostic, non-clinical models for up to 2 emerging threats within the 5-year period. Earlier this year, BARDA received concurrence from FDA CBER that our model for Marburg virus infection was well-characterized and suitable for the evaluation of vaccines against Marburg virus. This model is now available in an FDA Type 5 master file and available to Marburg virus vaccine developers to use should the regulatory pathway be through the FDA animal rule. We are ensuring that our non-clinical laboratory partners are prepared for the conduct of pivotal efficacy studies when required. This includes robust quality management systems for the conduct of GLP efficacy studies, including with high containment laboratories. Further, we seek to ensure non-clinical data presented for FDA licensure and approval decisions are in line with standards outlined in guidance and technical speculation. Enhancing and sustaining these non-clinical support services ensure that their ongoing availability to MCM programs and builds efficiencies into the advanced development critical pathway. So, in summary, I kind of shared with you our priorities and how they are aligned with the MCM development goals, and we look forward to having some further discussions on those priorities with you over the next day and a half. You can learn more about our non-clinical programs in tomorrow's sessions. These 2 sessions, one's on microphysiological and the other is on some non-clinical models. And just would like to, again, thank you for the opportunity to share our priorities with you.